Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Football Unfiltered, and today we'll be looking at the Premier League preview for the week. Here in the studio we have Blaze that will be doing this with me. Blaze, you're welcome once again.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful to be here on that episode of Football Unfiltered.
It's our pleasure to always have you here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll be starting with the derby game of the week. So we'll be starting with West Ham versus Chelsea. So Blaze, what do you think about this game?
Like you just called it, it's a derby game.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a very easy match for Chelsea. Even though I think that West Ham as a team has not been in form.
Yes, of late.
We have talked about how exceptional the transfer market before. If you have been following this show, you understand that we have actually talked about how West Ham did well when it comes to bringing in players.
Yes.
But the problem is that it's not just about bringing in players. Did you bring in the right players?
Yes, exactly.
Have these players gelled in the team? So far this season, West Ham have not done anything that is exceptional. I think they've just got 4 points out of in the 4 matches that they played so far.
Yes.
So even though I think this match is going to be a very difficult game, I think it's a match that Chelsea
should win.
Looking at the head-to-head, what has been happening previously when West Ham beats Chelsea, it's not been very easy, especially when Chelsea meets West Ham in their own home. There is always West Ham winning back to back. But Chelsea should win the match, looking at the fact that this season, so far, it's just Man City that have been able to win Chelsea. So if West Ham that is still struggling to find their feet
in the league
meets Chelsea now, and in Chelsea that, even though we know that they have not gotten to where they're supposed to be, but it's a process that's gotten to a stage. I think the stage Chelsea is now, West Ham should not be beating Chelsea.
Okay, so do you have any prediction for the game?
I think it's 2-0 for Chelsea.
2-0 for Chelsea. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the next game of the week, which is Aston Villa versus Wolves. What do you think about this game, please?
I think it's a straight win for Aston Villa.
Okay.
So far this season, Aston Villa have been showing that they really want to compete. They've been winning their matches, but they won their last match. Even after, I think it's the match that they scored, the opponent scored first, and they won. What do they call that? They won by they actually later won the match. So Aston Villa, I think, will be winning this match. Even Wolves is a worthy opponent.
Exactly.
They're middle table team. Middle table teams are teams in the Premier League that don't just overlook. They're the kind of teams that they can just come and just shock you. But Aston Villa at the moment, like I said in the previous, our last episode, I said that you can see them as top. It's no longer top 6 in the Premier League.
Exactly.
You can now say top 7.
4, yes.
Top 7. They're not the 7th team in the Premier League. So I think it's a match that they should win if they want to really compete this season. You shouldn't be losing against Wolves. So I think it's a 2-0 win for
Aston Villa. Okay, so let's quickly look at Fulham versus Newcastle game this week. So Blaze, what do you think about this Fulham Newcastle game?
When you look at the game from the surface, it's a game that Newcastle should.
Okay.
But I don't know who did the how would I don't know who selected the games for this week, because it's like almost all the games this week tough matches.
Yes, exactly.
So Fulham Newcastle, they've not been terribly bad this season.
Yes.
In fact, not just this season, even last season, the work of last season, at least they compete. For Newcastle is just like Aston Villa. They're new guys in the block that after the top 6 teams, you can talk about Aston Villa, then you talk about Newcastle.
Exactly.
So Newcastle as a team, I think it's a match that Newcastle should win, because these 2 teams, Aston Villa and Newcastle, they are teams that want to be at whether the top 4 or the top 6. So I think Newcastle meeting Fulham, if you want to be at the top 4 or the top 6, you shouldn't be losing this kind of matches. It's a kind of game that you should actually win. So Fulham, Newcastle should win.
Okay.
They should win. The only thing I'll be adding is that both teams will score. But Newcastle will eventually win.
Okay, all right. So let's look at Leicester City Everton. Who do you think is going to win this game?
I'll give it to Leicester. I'll give it to Leicester because Everton has been they've not been
Not really
serious
good this
This
season.
season. They've been scoring goals. You know, last season or seasons before now, the problem with Everton be in scoring goals.
Yeah.
But this season they've been scoring goals. But the problem now is to defend.
What? Yeah,
One,
the
you're
goals.
winning 2-0
Yes.
and you're
You
winning
still
2-0 in something
concede.
minutes and you're still
Exactly.
conceding. You wonder what's happening. So how can you? They've done it the last two games back to back. They're winning 2-0 and
Ended up.
the next team comes
Yes.
back and end up winning. So I think it's a game that Leicester will win. Like we have said, Leicester is a team that you can't judge them for the fact that they're just coming
From
into
yes
into
into
the
the league.
Premier League. Yeah, they're well experienced team.
Yes, in the
The
in the
team that
league.
know how to score, they know how to play in the Premier League. So I think it's a game that Leicester should win.
Should win.
So the only thing I will also add is that there'll be goals.
Okay, so Everton will as well score.
Score.
Okay, so viewers, if you're joining us for the first time, please kindly click on the subscribe button and like on this video. You can as well drop your thoughts on the comment section. Thank you. So Blaze, let's look at the next game of the week, which is Liverpool Bournemouth game. So what do you think about this game?
You know, last week we talked about how Liverpool would win. We talked
Yeah,
about it passionately and they went and they lost that
they
game.
lost the game.
But I don't think I think it's a one of something.
Okay.
I don't think that Liverpool are bad. I think Liverpool Bournemouth. I think Liverpool will still win that game. Even though it's not going to be Bournemouth is not a team that you can just walk
Oh
over.
yeah.
It's a team that you work hard to win them.
To fight to
If you
win.
watch yes, if you watch Bournemouth versus Chelsea last week, you understand that
It was a
it
fight.
was a fight. It was a really intense game.
Game.
So it took a whole lot for Chelsea to actually win that match. It took the coach to twerk, bringing new players, change the formation again and again before they got that goal from individual brilliance.
Yeah.
That's from Chad Sancho and then Nkuku. So Liverpool Bournemouth. I watched Liverpool this week during the Champions League and I watched them against AC Milan. So I think they are still a team that wants to compete to win the Premier League. So against AC Milan, they really did well. They won that game convincingly. So the way they played, if they play against Bournemouth, the way they played against AC Milan, and the way they played their first three matches, they will eventually win that match. But if they play against the way they played the last game against Tottenham, then it's a match that they lose because Bournemouth is a team that they can capitalize on any team they see and win the game. But for me, I'll go with Liverpool winning that match.
Okay. Do you think there's anything they're supposed to do in this current game, this next game, that they failed to do in the last game, which led to them losing?
I think what happened in their last game, you can't even categorically state what happened in their last game because it's one of those things that happen in football. You prepare and at the end of the day, you're surprised something else happened. So it happens. The only thing I can say that they can do this time around is try and score first because I think
their disadvantage
in the last game. They allowed Nottingham Forest to score first. Immediately they score first, they are now looking for a way
struggling to and at the
score
end.
Again. At the end of the day, that goal will not come. Exactly. But I think that this time around they should go all out from the beginning of the game. And they shouldn't underrate Bournemouth. I think coming into that game, they were overconfident. You know, when you have won your first three games, and this is just not for us. This is a walkover for us. So they were overconfident. And so I think they should come into this game with the thought process that, oh, we can actually lose this game. Let's give our 100%.
Yes, thank you. So let's look at the next game, which is Southampton Ipswich game. Who do you think will win?
Ipswich win. Ipswich team.
Ipswich. Are you serious?
Yeah, these are two teams that came from the championship. And when you look at the two teams, which team
is better
at the moment is Ipswich. Southampton has not done anything in the Premier League so far.
Still trying to find their
when I knew this team is not a serious team, was their first game. Their first game was when they had ample opportunity to at least get 3 points from that game. So that game they were playing against Newcastle, and early on in the game they had that red card. They gave Newcastle red card, and Newcastle went ahead to win that game. Not just winning the game, they dominated. You know, it's something that is different that Newcastle won the game and they sat back.
Exactly.
That 90 minutes.
They still dominated,
the game.
the advantage of the red card
you can
given to.
imagine. So for me, if Sweet Town will really deal with Southampton, because I've watched their game, this they're a serious team, and like I always say, they're
Yes,
well coached team.
exactly.
So I think if Sweet Town will eventually win, and they will going to be a serious win, not a 1-0 kind of win, maybe 2-0, 3-0 kind of win.
Okay, nice. Okay, let's look at the next derby game of the week, which is between Spurs and Brentford. So, who do you think will win this
I'm
game?
laughing because this is the kind of game you're confused. You don't know
Yeah, exactly.
who will eventually win, because Spurs, I don't know what's
I
happening to
don't
Spurs
know
at the moment.
this season.
Their
I
last
don't
game in
know.
the Carabao Cup, they were playing against a division two side, and they trailed first. It took them 80 minutes for them to
So
score, then
exactly
eventually win that
win the
match.
game.
And they lost that derby match against Arsenal last
Arsenal
week, when they were clearly the favorite for me
to
to
win
win
that
that game.
game.
Looking at the fact that a key player like Rice did not play, looking at the fact that a key player like Odegaard did
Odegaard
not play.
was not
So you're
there.
going into that kind of important derby game and you're losing the way they lost. I think
So
going into this
disappointing.
game, you cannot clearly say what
That's
will
why
happen, because
exactly.
Spurs, they are shaking at the moment. And if you watch Brentford against Man City, their last game,
Yes,
they played so well that Guardiola himself had to say, no, this coach, you're too good for
exactly.
this team. I think you have gotten to a stage that you should go to a
A
bigger
bigger
team.
team.
So I think it's going to be a draw game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a draw game. It's going to be a balanced game, and at the end of the day, draw.
Okay. So viewers, please, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly click on the like and subscribe button. Thank you. So please, why am I smiling? I'm smiling because it's your the next game is between your enemy.
My guys.
Okay. So the next game is between Crystal Palace and Man United.
Man United won 3-0. They won
Yes.
3-0 against Southampton.
Yeah.
And during the Carabao
Oh,
Cup,
they now won
they now won
the
7-0.
7-0.
So Man United fans are like, Man United, we are
They've
back.
arrived.
We are back. So the bulk of their fan base will be thinking that this match, if we
It's
can
a
win
straight
3-0,
win for them.
7-0, so they're thinking it's a straight
Win
win
for them.
But
Okay.
it's Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace is not a Southampton. Crystal Palace is not the division two side
Exactly.
that they play. This is a team that they know how to play. Man United.
Exactly.
I think in their last 2 or 3 matches against Man United,
Man United.
they've been winning consistently, and it's not that kind of lucky win kind of win. The kind of win that Nottingham Forest won Liverpool, because for me it's a lucky win.
Yes,
It's a kind of win that they comfortably win Man United back to back. The last game Crystal Palace played against Man United was a 4-0 embarrassing win. So I think it's going to be a very difficult match for Manchester United.
Yeah.
But I won't outrightly say they will lose the match.
Okay.
But I think maybe at the end of the day it will be a draw, because it's
Draw
not me that is
game.
going to say Manchester United.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's quickly look at Brighton Norton Forest game. So which team do you think is the favorite to win this
Brighton.
game?
Brighton.
Okay.
Even though that Nottingham Forest are yet to lose this season, Brighton lost last week.
Or you feel
Nottingham-
like they are
Nottingham
still the
Forest are
favorite?
yet
Yes.
to lose this season. They've gotten like 2 or 3 goals, but
Okay.
they've not lost yet. While Brighton, on the other hand, started well. Their coach even got the last month
Coach of the
month, rather. So, but for me, Brighton is the better team. They play better. For me, I think it's going to be a Brighton win at the end of the day. Even though it will not be an
easy win for them.
but eventually they will win. So next now I would say that Nottingham Forest can score maybe 2-1, 1-0.
Okay, all right. Let's look at the big game of the week, which is going to be between Manchester City and Arsenal.
Russell United. The 2 teams, they did not represent us well in the Champions League.
They didn't.
The 2 teams, Man City played 0-0 against
And Arsenal also played
0-0
against Atalanta.
So I'm wondering what they went to do in Europe.
So, please, what do you think will happen in this game? Do you think it's still going to be more like a repeat of what happened in Champions League? Maybe the 2 teams will end up not scoring each other.
I think it's going to be that kind of game.
Okay.
Because I've not seen, whenever Arteta meets Pep, his style for the game is sit back and defend. So I think it's what Arteta will do. The same thing he will do going into this game. He will try to sit back and try and defend. For Arteta, getting a draw against Man City is wonderful for
Yeah.
And I've even seen posts from Man City fans using it to throw Arsenal fans. And I think Rodri once said that if you really want to win the league, then try and win your opponent. Don't set up for a
Yeah.
draw. So I think it's going to be a draw game.
Yeah.
And if eventually anybody is going to win from this match, it's going to be Man City. Because I don't think Arsenal, even though Arsenal has been proving difficult, we still talk about that when we are reviewing the championship
Champions
matches.
League.
Because if you watch their game against Atlanta, it was we are just lucky not to lose that match.
Exactly.
But for the Premier League, Man City, Arsenal,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a very tough game. Like we have seen whenever Man City is playing Arsenal, it's always a tough game. I think the last game was the first time. The last two games, I think the last two games Arsenal won Man City 1-0.
Exactly.
Then their last meeting
Was
0-0. Then if you go down 0-0, 0-0, 1-1.
Yes.
Then
As
it
always
was in the beginning when Arteta just came into the Premier League that Man City was trashing Arsenal. There's a time they played them 4-1, there's a time they played them 3-0. But at the moment, I think Arsenal now has learned how to play Man City. What they do is that they just sit back and defend, the same thing that Inter did against Man City. So I think going into this game, Arsenal will eventually sit back and try and defend. But I think for a team that claim they want to actually win the league, it doesn't make sense. If you want to win the league, come out and win Man City. You understand? You don't. If you want to win the league, win your opponent. You're not going for a draw. I know it's Man City, but win Man City. Do you get? Even what's his name? Rodri of Man City was trolling Arsenal the last time they won the league. He was like, if you want to win the league, then win us. No, he said it.
Exactly.
He said,
I'm not trying to
put
your failure on another team.
Every time you're trying to draw, every time you're trying to draw against Man City. No, win Man City. So, but even though I know this man, Arteta that I know, if you watch Atlanta, he knew that Atlanta had a bigger team in coach when it comes to Europe. And what did he do? He checked it out. The bulk of that game, he was playing safe. So I think this game is going to actually play safe. And eventually, if anything is going to come out to Arsenal's advantage in this game, it's going to be a draw. So if eventually anybody is going to win from this game, it should be Man City. Remember that somebody like Haaland scored 9 goals in the Premier League this season and did not score in the Champions League last week. And he's going to be coming into this week. You know, when Haaland did not score, when Haaland did not score in his last game, coming into the new game, he comes with this one. Haaland is a player that for every game is challenging himself. He wants to do better. So I think even though there's a clause there, I think Arsenal's strength as a team is in their defense.
Yes, exactly.
The Saliba, the Gabriel, they are good players. And I think also in their last 2 games, they have been able to contain Haaland. Haaland has not been able to score them. But let's see. But for me, it's a draw game. At best, what will happen is Man City winning, maybe with 1 or 2 goals. Yes. It's not going to be a disgraceful game.
All right, thank you so much. So viewers, let's watch out for the games of the week. Blaze, it's nice. It's always nice having you here in the studio.
It's beautiful. I enjoy talking football.
Yes, you're always welcome. And please don't forget to drop your predictions and drop what you think about this week's game under the comment section. And please, if you've not liked or subscribed to our channel, please, you're begging you, kindly click on that subscribe button, like this video and drop your comments. Thank you. See you in our next episode.